Never takes a day off. I don't think I've ever seen you off a day since you've started on the program.
Thank you, Jay. Stephen A. plays golf every day, too.
I'm glad you think so. Sure.
Well, I know Stephen A. loves the NBA. When you look at things, we're going a couple days now from the playoffs. In the West, you've got a host of teams, Seattle, San Antonio, Phoenix. All of these teams looking very strong. In the East, it really seems to be Miami and Detroit as the two front runners. But, Skip, I'll start with you. Who should be the favorite to win the NBA championship this year?
This is not a, so to speak, spur-of-the-moment opinion. I've been saying all year, it's the San Antonio Spurs. If they get Tim Duncan back in gear and keep him healthy, they got 3 stars with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker, and I still say that team is an even better defensive team than your Detroit Pistons are.
I kind of hate debating basketball with Skip because it's really no debate. I consistently have to educate him. Regardless of how great the San Antonio Spurs have looked this season, last time I checked, they're not the defending world champions. That would happen to be the Detroit Pistons, a team that has won 10 straight, a team that has won 16 of the last 20 games, a team that was playing a meaningless game yesterday afternoon. The Cleveland Cavaliers had everything on the line, and the Detroit Pistons went out there, played their butts off, played hard, played their starters, played their reserves, got the job done. They're rolling right around the time you're supposed to be rolling if you're trying to defend a world championship. They're focused. Their coach Larry Brown is focused. The city is focused. Everybody's on. You've got to beat a man. To beat a man, you've got to beat the man. The last time I checked, that would be the Detroit Pistons.
Yes, and who did they beat in the finals last year? Shaquille O'Neal, who weighed about 450 pounds.
How did they get to the finals?
I don't care. It was in the East is how they got to the finals.
Really? They played the Indiana Pacers?
They didn't. They avoided the Spurs because of some out-of-the-rear-end shot that somebody hit with 0.4 seconds left.
That's how much they get to win 4 games.
But to Stephen A.'s point, 10 in a row, 16 of 20 this year. How can
They
anyone overlook this team?
They can't beat the Spurs, and the Spurs.
He's just emotional.
The Spurs have a secret weapon. You know who it is? Say his name.
Listen, I don't have
it's
to.
Rasho Nesterovic.
Don't do that. Because you know the bottom line is he's just so emotional. Anybody that'll bring a Rasho Nesterovic.
He's a backup now to Nazi Muhammad.
He deserves it. He's lucky in the NBA. He's lucky he's in the NBA.
Talk about stealing money.
Talk about stealing money.
I'm not way better.
Listen, I am not questioning the man's talent. I'm questioning his production. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't produce, if you don't maximize your potential, what does it mean? Oh, please, in what way? With Skip Bayless coming through the lane? That's the only thing he's done.
They don't play me.
Talked about LeBron and their free fall with the Cavs. What about the Minnesota Timberwolves? Like the Lakers, they're partners in the Western Conference Finals last year. They will be watching the playoffs from home or choose not to watch them at all. They're probably thoroughly disgusted. And Kevin Garnett is taking a lot of heat on the Timberwolves missing the playoffs. Skip, is KG the most overrated superstar in the NBA right now?
The most overhyped, the most overpaid. He's Kevin Garnett. If he's the MVP of this league, he gets that team at least into the bottom of the playoffs. But you know what, Stephen A.? He's one big 7-foot-tall identity crisis because he's a long 7-footer with the mentality of a soft 2-guard.
But like the Cavs, how much support has he gotten this year?
I think Sprewell and Cassell were the reasons that team got to the Western Conference Finals last year.
But they were also the reason that they flopped this year. Let me educate you, my man. KG, the big ticket. He's called the big ticket for a reason. This man can play 5 different positions. He is the complete package. Do not knock him. If you want to knock
him, he can't play center.
Let me tell you something right now. He can if he has to defensively. Offensively, he's not about to post you up looking like Manute Bol. That ain't going to work. But defensively, he can get it done. At the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. Cassell and Sprewell and those guys, they were a distraction because they were looking for their contract extensions. And if Kevin Garnett was guilty of one thing, it's because his loyalty to the Minnesota Timberwolves cost him. Because you know what? If you're going to sign for $126 million and then you're going to sign for $100 million, you're not going anywhere. So the obligation for them to put the right parts around you is never there because you're not threatening to leave. His loyalty hurt the Minnesota Timberwolves more than anything else.
He's a good guy and he gives you good interviews.
He's a great guy, but he's a better player.
All right. By the way, Wally Zerback, after the loss, said he would be just fine being traded out of Minnesota. So
he said that before the season. He wanted to come to New York.
Who knows if we'll ever see this team? We probably won't see this team again. Guys, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.